Good evening, everybody. Today is November 30th, 2022. This is the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission meeting. I would like to call that to order, and if you would all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Hello, Nick. Roll call. I, myself, Brian Chalik, is present. J.T. McDermott's present. Damon Gasaway's present. Jenna Francisconi's present. Betsy Parkinson's present. We have a full crew. Nice job, guys. All present and accounted for. Minutes, October 26, 2022, regular meeting. And everybody have a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah.
Any corrections? Everything look good? Changes?
Looks good. I'd like to make a motion to approve the October 26, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
No discussion. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. I forgot something. Yeah, I did say that.
That's fine.
I just saw that.
What?
I kind of skipped one here. Public comment. Is there anybody present for public comment? I will open it up for public comment. It is now 5:17 p.m. Amanda, you got anything to say? You're the only one here, so we will close public comment at 5:17 p.m. Claims. If everybody looked at the claims from 11/30 of 2022. Any questions?
Is anybody?
Or anything else?
Nick, I had sent a question off, and I'm sorry it was so late. I'm not sure if you had a chance to read it, but
I didn't get a chance to
oh,
look at
okay.
it.
No, I was just talking about the money we pay to have the surveys done on the water and things over at Newport Landing. How, what the process is, and how are we going to have to do that forever?
No, generally it's a 2-year minimum for all of our site status letters and things like that. So it's on a quarterly basis, and we're 3 quarters into 2 years right now.
Awesome, good.
So one more payment?
No,
Oh, 3 quarters
Five.
into
Five.
5 more payments, okay.
5 more payments. And you have, and that's indicated on the last page, that the remaining funds that we need to pay are included in the memo on the last page that we're gonna go over later in the meeting, so.
All right, thank you.
I have, do I have a motion? I do, don't I?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve today's meeting minutes, 11/30, 2022.
We're talking about the claims.
Oh, I'm sorry, the
We
claims
went through the-
docket. Approve the claims docket for 11/30, 2022.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Claims pass. Next on the agenda is old business, Monroe Streetscape Design Update. That would be you, Mr. Phillips.
Yep, just very briefly, we had a good joint meeting between the RDC and the Bid District Board last month. I can't remember exactly what day that was now off the top of my head, but we had members of both bodies present, 2 members from the Redevelopment Commission and then several members from the Bid Board. And we had we basically kind of presented the progress thus far. It was November 14th,
yeah.
okay, November 14th. And where we're going from here, and we got some good feedback from that meeting, and where we're going from here is, instead of putting together, as initially anticipated, instead of putting together scope and drawings and all the information that needs to be put together for a first phase of construction of the streetscape on Monroe, we're going to put together basically what we call a pattern book, which lays out what all the different treatments, the furniture, the pavers, the landscaping, the lighting, all that kind of thing for the entire bid district, the elements that would make up all those things, basically. And then block by block, which elements would be placed where based on priority or based on the importance of a particular block. So we thought that was more valuable going forward, because as we continue to see the infrastructure age out, which we're doing on a regular basis now, dealing with replacements, we'll have a path going forward as far as how we want the downtown area to look, block by block. And so we have about a third, half to a third of that contract remaining, about a third of that contract remaining in that, and we're gonna be starting the process of developing that pattern book now, and that's where we're at going forward with this. So they've given us their initial concept for the plaza space and the first block of Monroe, but like I said, rather than looking at actually constructing the first portion of that block of Monroe, doing the pattern book instead. So that's where we're at with that. So more to come, and you guys will see more information in detail about what the pattern book suggests and what the ultimate scope of the improvements would be as those get replaced, as money becomes available, or different funding opportunities, et cetera. So that's,
It was a very good meeting, I might add.
yeah.
A lot of information there. Okay, any questions about Monroe Streetscape? No? We'll move down to downtown parking study update. That's you again.
Yep, briefly, so we had a good meeting with staff internally to get comments and feedback on the draft of the study. We had the same opportunity with the Traffic Commission, received some good feedback from the Traffic Commission, and so the consultants are in the process of wrapping up those final comments and looking at, one major thing we're looking at is just how we're handling downtown snow removal. And they were doing some comparisons with other communities to see how that's handled and making some suggestions on our procedure there. But we're basically ready to wrap up the study. The plan would be to have probably presentation to the Redevelopment Commission and invite members of the bid district board and members of city council, et cetera, whoever wants to participate, to present the final information on that immediately after the beginning of the year. So we might even just do that as a separate item at your meeting in January, if we can get that. I think we'll be ready for that by then. So yeah, we're very close to wrapping that up. We've had a lot of good feedback and and input, like I said, going into that, and looking forward to getting started on implementing that. So that's where we're at with that.
Questions? Okay, now we go to new business. We have the encumbrance memo for the TIF accounts, which you have in front of you.
Last page of your packets.
Last page, yeah, very last page. Both sides of the paper, I might add.
Double-sided,
Yeah.
yep. So what this does, basically every year, at the end of the year, we identify the outstanding contracts that we have that have been approved previously and the amounts necessary to follow up to close out those contracts. Make sure that we use the money that was set aside from the current calendar year for wrapping those up. And so what this is, basically it just lays out each of your contracts that are outstanding, those amounts that remain, and this request is sent to the clerk treasurer and included in an overall resolution of all city encumbrance requests that goes to the council in, I believe goes to them at the second meeting in December. So and if you have any questions about any of these specifically, I won't go through them one by one, but if you have any questions about any of them directly, we've talked about a couple tonight, Walker Consulting, Hitchcock, so like I said, this is just to wrap up those various contracts that we have.
Questions? Pretty straightforward. It's basically telling the clerk treasurer to hold the money, because we've got it spent.
Yep, in the form of a purchase order.
Right. Yep, for the end of the year. None?
So I just need your blessing on that.
Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer resolution for TIF accounts.
Encumbrance memo, meaning?
Encumbrance memo, sorry.
Yeah.
Typo on my
Typo
part.
on his part.
Yeah, we'll have transfer
Do I have a second?
resolution at next meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Okay. Other business, Nick.
I have a couple orders of other business. Just looking at timing and some availability of materials. It looks like we may be able to get our west basin filled, which is a project that we've kind of been wanting to move forward and need to do. That's the area behind the medical office building. So that pond the plan has always been to fill that, and the problem was the cost of riprap, and there's potentially going to be a very large source of crushed, recycled concrete riprap very soon in the city of Livermore. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Just boom, it appears.
Yeah, boom. So now would be a very advantageous time for us to get quotes or bids on that material placed so that we can kind of finish that portion of the project, which includes closing and capping the west basin, and then installing a dry bottom detention area on top of it. So I'd like to request to get bids or quotes for material placed for that project.
Questions?
I'll make a motion to approve opening it up to bids for the West Basin.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There we go.
And those will come back at your next meeting,
Right.
essentially.
Didn't we have a bunch of concrete left out there that we had to haul away before? Of course you
It
can't.
wasn't ours.
It wasn't ours?
Wasn't ours, yeah. So our contract wasn't structured that way.
Yeah. Would've been nice to know that, though.
One other item that came up last week, I was out of the office, so I wasn't able to get a lot of information to everybody. I think I sent it to Craig late yesterday when I found it in my email as I was catching up on everything.
Because you were on vacation, correct?
Was
Yeah.
that rare occasion. The Redevelopment Commission owns 3 lots. It's right now 2 parcels, but it's 3 lots along Clear Lake Boulevard, at the corner of Clear Lake Boulevard and Furnace. As part of the local tracks project, the state, who is the kind of, it's through a grant with the state, so the state is needs to acquire a small portion of one of those lots along Furnace Street. It's about 2,141 square feet. The Redevelopment Commission could get paid for that, about $4,000, or you can donate it. My recommendation would be to donate because we have a limited budget in the overall project. So our grant was for a certain amount, and anything over that, the city pays at a not 80-20 rate. So if the Redevelopment Commission would be willing to donate about 2,000 square feet to the state of Indiana, that would help out the local tracks project. I have all the documents and everything for that transfer, and I just look for the Redevelopment Commission to authorize that, or authorize, I can send the documents and authorize an electronic vote on it, or however you want to do it.
That's the grade separation project.
I don't think we need to do that. We just vote on it now, can't we?
That's fine too. And if anybody wants to see all the real estate documents that they send, it's a big package, and
Does anybody want to see all that?
Trying to
For
picture where
2,000
that's at.
square
No.
feet?
Trying to picture where that's at, the
Park
furnace.
and Furnace,
yeah, I think it's about 10.
It's right over by Stan
South
Leonard's
side of
old
Clear
place.
Lake.
Oh, I know.
Launch furnace.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's the little,
Nothing you can do with it anyway.
Yeah.
try it.
Do I have a motion to donate the property to the state of Indiana?
I'll make a motion to donate the property to the state of Indiana.
By the second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? State of Indiana has got our property for 2,000 square feet.
And the way that this grant was structured initially, the state of Indiana has to acquire everything because it then allows them to take out additional bonds to cover the costs of the projects. It may end up that land gets transferred back to either the city or the county owns the bridge at that point. So
Right.
it may not be a permanent situation, but in the
It's not-
short term, it has to get done to keep the project
Not a
moving.
big deal, no.
But it benefits the community, obviously.
Sure.
So a grade separation project is huge.
That's
so.
exactly what we're supposed to do. There is one other thing. We need to talk about changing the date of December's meeting. December 14th. Is that okay with everybody? You gonna be in town, Damon?
Yep.
We're trying to
Trying
accommodate
to
a
date, so the
schedule.
holiday schedule, so we don't have all this stuff in the last part of the month, and I think you're gone on vacation, and other people are too.
Plus, we're trying to accommodate a schedule as far as the approval process for something that requires both council and
Right.
redevelopment commission approval, and we'd like to get it done if we can by the first meeting in January, regarding the establishment of an economic development target area. And so, Jim Kaminsky is currently working on finalizing the paperwork on that to go before the council on December 5th. What is that date? I can't remember. The Monday meeting, 5th?
5th.
Yeah, December 5th, and then it would come to you at that meeting on the 14th,
14th.
and then back to the council for final approval, hopefully the first meeting in January. So that's why it's being requested. Bert was gonna be here tonight to explain that to you as well, but, that's it in a nutshell, is we're trying to accommodate that schedule so we can get that done.
Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and notify the paper accordingly.
Right. We don't
That-
need to, we don't need to, no.
Yep.
So now, instead of the 28th, the meeting's the 14th.
Yep.
Okay? Okay, Damon, your turn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Hearing no problems. All in favor, state by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We are adjourned. Thank you.